Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is December the 4th. How are you liking that 12 days of Quiltmas already? A special thank you to Kristen and Tom for putting this year's extravaganza to Christmas all together. And for that, we're all thankful and blessed. Our crew this year, I'm going to give you the order. You really need to slip over and watch every video. It's really important because you're still going to have that secret word. I'm sure Kristen explained that in her video, but I'm just going to run down the list really quick of who all's in this goodness this year. So remember, the order I'm reading it is the day that you need to make sure that you're watching. And I need you to slip over to the one behind me too. There's goodness waiting on you there. Day 1 is Kristen. Day 2 is Beth. Day 3 is Chris. I'm day 4. Yvette Renee is day 5. Stephanie is day 6. Becca is day 7. Ginger is day 8. Joe Carmel is day 9. Chris O'Neill is day 10. Dave is day 11, and Tom, the colorblind quilter, is going to wrap all this goodness up on day 12. You're still going to have the opportunity to win something from each of us. Now, how cool is that? They've kept all of the rules pretty much the same. You still need to look for the secret word. You need to do the Google Doc at the end and collect all those secret words. I'm not going to spill the tea on my video what all of that's about. So I've taken the liberty this year to do my video just a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and let you know I'm using the fabric line A Place in Time. I joined another content creator and we did a jelly roll race for Jelly Roll Race Day. You could do whatever you wanted. So you're going to have to slip over to that video, and we'll try to remember to link that in our description box as well. But that's where you're going to find me sewing all of these gorgeous strips together. What girl doesn't love plaid? I do. And look at all this goodness. There's just so much. So this is the fabric line that I'm using. I've skipped ahead, as I said, and I've made 10-inch squares. I've cut them all down because I'm doing something different than I have years past. So this time you get to come along with me and see what I've created that one of you lucky people are going to win. Now, how cool is that? So like I said, make sure you're starting with a 10-inch square, other way around. And that's going to make this project come together so easy. So what I did was I took my 10-inch square, split it in half, and I've joined it just like this. It's going to be so scrappy and so stinking cute. So I've did 4 of these. So you're going to be able to see the direction that I'm heading. I wanted to make sure that you get to see a lot of the goodness. I want to make sure that my whites are together because that's really important when we're building this out. So I'm going to just eyeball. No science to this, right? And just sew the straight line right here. We will be squaring this down, but I'm not even going to square this down until after I've got it quilted. Now, how cool is that, right? And I want to make sure that all of my seams are nesting really well. Just a second to get this all in. We're going to do the same thing 2 times. I'll lay this one aside, and I'll grab this one. And now we're just going to join this one. And line it up. And just sew it in. I wanted to make this year's just a little bit different, so you'll be able to see everything in a faster fashion. I think that's pretty cool. And I'm so glad that we're doing the 12 Days of Quiltmas this year. We've got a lot to be thankful for. So now we've got 2. So I'm going to just sit it down here and give it a little finger pressing. And all of these little angles are all going to come out so different. That's what's making this fun. So slide that one over. Get this one pressed. And this is a project that comes together so fast. You're really going to enjoy it. If you're going to one of those Christmas parties and you want to take something special, you could grab this and go. That's how quick this one comes together. So make sure that your center is lined up, and I will put a pin in it there. I'm going to move my iron out of my way. Then I'm also, where these seams line up, I'm going to stick a pin there. We all know fabric stretches just a little bit, right? Let me grab one right there. And then I'm just going to sew this straight line. That easy. And it's only been a couple minutes and we've got a lot accomplished already. You definitely don't want to sew over your pins. Don't do it. You're right there. Just pop it out. And I'm keeping my finger there because I know that's going to line up. Let me get this seams pressed. Then you're going to be able to see all this goodness. And no, we're not done yet. A couple more little things I need to do for this. Want to make sure that I have it good and flat. Now how quick's that, right? Are you liking it yet? I know I am. This year's theme is about stars because you guys are shining stars. So now I get to incorporate a star in mine. So give me just a minute and we'll get this star ready to pin on and get it all set in place. Now we'll upcycle this thread. Let me show you how cool this is. Love. Cut out 2 stars. Just like this. And I'm going to choose a couple different places to lay them on this. So I'm not sure exactly yet. But do I want it matchy-matchy? This is where we get to play with it just for a second. Make sure that they're flat. And like this one just like this. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let me pin it in place. I'll take this one off until we're done. all of that. So, back up on the table now. Slide that iron over out of the way. You can zigzag this in, but since I know I'm going to be quilting it, I'm just going to just go really close around the edges. And I have my dove gray thread in. So every time I turn a corner, I want that thread to show. I could have changed it to the red so it blended in, but I wanted to make sure it was sticking out and you could see. And you do really sometimes need to be really careful when you're putting red and white together because the colors may bleed. So if you need to wash it, I would say use a color catcher. The first one's on. Now how cool is that? It looks a little rustic, right? I think it's adorable. So now I'm gonna just pull it over and eyeball where I went the other one. Kind of wanting the same angle, but it's okay if it's off a little bit. It's just gonna be so stinking cute. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm only putting 2 on. I could put many more, but I just think 2 is just enough. And how cool is that? Let me press it and then I'll hold it up for you. Now, is that not cute? I really like it. How about you? So I need to measure because next we're going to go quilting. So about 3/4 by 3/4 of a yard. So I need to make sure that I have the backing, right? I really want to make all of this tie in together. So now I'm just going to flip these blocks and sew them together. And this is going to end up being the backing. So it's kind of going to be a two-sided one. But we'll see how it turns out. And I want to do something different in the center. So why not add this? That way we're incorporating everything. I'm going to pull out the plaid because I think they're cute. And then we're going to do this way. We're going to do one long strip that's going to go down the center. Just let the machine do the work for you. going to take the opposite side and put the green. And this is also going to give me an extra 6 inches in the center, which I would say we may end up needing. And these two dark colors, they really stand out for us. And then now all we're going to do is press the seams. Let me move these over. And I'll press the seams over. I'm just going to press them to the dark. So easy peasy, this is going dead center. I'm going to have overage, and that's okay. So I'm just going to lift it up and sew it in. And this is going to be the center. Then I'm gonna finger press this for now. You're gonna see a secondary design form. How cool was that, right? I'm just going to give a little bit of warmth. Press that as flat as I can. Do the same thing on this side. Remember, we've already finger pressed it to the dark. So give me just a second. I'm going to square this up and then we're going to quilt it up. All right, so now I've got the back pinned to the front and I'm going to quilt this one on my domestic. So I'm just going to do an easy cross hatch. I think it's going to give this exactly what it needs, not too much, just enough. So I am using my Fallon ruler because it does not slide and it's going to make this a lot easier for me to handle. So let's get started. And you can guesstimate where you want yours. Like I said, I'm probably going to do about a 2.5, but I want to make sure I catch this corner. That's the only reason I'm doing this corner. I don't want it to flip up on me. I want to keep my lines as straight as possible. Go back here and drop my foot. So now my project is totally completed. You saw me as I was quilting it. I went ahead and took liberty to go ahead and bind it to save time because we all know how to bind, right? So I'm gonna let you know what my secret word is. Brown. And don't forget, you need to write that down. So I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. You ready? This is the back. My label is here, and I'm gonna write a special message to whomever is the recipient. I think the back turned out cool. And this is the front. Because you guys are all stars, I made sure there was 2. And this is gonna be a center table runner for someone. So good luck to everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Quiltmas 2024. It's been an honor and a privilege to be invited in. And don't forget, Yvette Renee is tomorrow night. So you'll have to slip over and see what goodness she's made. Take care, God bless, and have a fabulous day. Bye.